bouncing around because the coil isn't sitting, but we're right around 15,000 pounds. Can everybody agree? You see that? All right. 15,000 pounds, right? So no matter where he picks it up, put it up to 10 degrees for me on the side here. I just want you to, I'm having them change the angle so everybody realizes we're not cheating anything. We're not doing anything different. We're just getting some boom angles to this. 10 degrees. Did we change anything on the weight, guys? Nothing has changed, right? Because the boom is getting 15,000 pounds right now. We're not using a wire rope going over the end of that boom. So it's not trying to compress it. All it's doing is lifting up the weight of the boom, or the coil, correct? So, all right, we're going to set it down. What we're going to do is we're going to take this deck wing. We can't take that pin on the head of that boom and get a number for it. We don't have the ability to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that wire rope from the deck winch. We're going to put a snatch block where the two rings are. So we have to think about that snatch block as being our head of our boom. Because what's on the end of that boom? Permanently mounted snatch block, right? It changes direction. Literally no different except it's mounted there permanently as a shield wheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a snatch block. We're going to take our cable from here, run it through that. We're going to imitate that is the direction of coming down on the boom. So we're putting the snatch block in. Are we going to get a lighter load on it, or are we going to get a higher load on it? Who wants to bet $1 on lighter? You will? Who wants to bet $1 on heavier? You can't.
So when we get into doing the pulleys and snatch blocks and the angle multipliers and go through that section, I know Mike hasn't covered that yet this morning, but this is one of those ones that you want to put in your mind for when we get to that section, because if we're doing it on the presentation or you're looking at it in your book, sometimes it's a little bit
20 or
harder
25
to put that
degrees.
together, but this is the
20 or
kind
25.
of real life version of that.
We get you a visual of what's going on. So when we're talking about it, you actually understand what's going on with it. You have the horns released?
Yep.
A little bit more. We're going to go to 20 degrees on the boom so we always know where it's at. We're going to go back to 20 every time.
Good. Far enough out. Far enough out. Better no.
Yeah. Down a little bit.
Up. Yep.
So now he's just going to go up. 700, 1900, 4700, 6300, 8700, 13,000, 15,000, 17,000, 20, 23,000, 25,000, 27,000, 28,000. Go up a little bit more. I think you're still on the ground. There you go.
I saw 28 for a few. Yeah.
I've seen 28,000 pounds. Guys, what are we doing to the end of that boom? At that 9055, that's all the way out, that's rated at 18,000 pounds with a 15,000 pound coil. Are we over?
Nope.
Who would not think twice about putting the boom all the way out and lifting that up for only 15,000 pounds? I wouldn't have thought nothing of it. Until I see this, I would have no problem putting that boom out to the next trailer over, lifting that coil up and bringing it in, right? Man, my rating's at 18,000. I got a 15,000 pound coil. See what they're doing right now too? See how they're preventing? See how it's twisting? See if that's affecting that wire rope?
Yeah.
What do you think it's doing? It's trying to untwist it, right? You think it's good for it? Not at all. When we let it down, the last thing you'll ever want to do is to start that twisting to put your hand near that hook there. You ever see one of them hooks spin? Your fingers will never be the same. You might not have them or they will be broken. So be careful. So 27,000 You can even go 27,500, right? All right, now we're gonna come down, and all we're gonna do, boom down so we can put the snack. All we're gonna do is we're gonna put a snack block in it. Now, see the cable?
Yep.
That's because it was taking the switch out of it. So all we're gonna do now is take that orange hook and we're gonna hook it right next to the snack block, which is imitating taking that hook and going back to the tip of that boom. Oh, I know.
Oh, dear. I'll have to hand it to you guys, and I'm sure that John and Mike would agree. You guys have got a great association. You guys have done a great job getting people out here, getting casualties, getting people to work and help, getting all the stuff set up. We couldn't be successful with events like this without people jumping in like this. So you guys have done a great job. These guys in the black shirts that came out yesterday helped get all the casualties out here, get all the trucks that they were taking off the road or taking out of service. It's just awesome. In fact, give these guys a round of applause, man. They do a great job. Right, class, guys.
So we're back up at 20 degrees, right where we were last time. So all you need to do now is just winch up. Are we good? $83,000, 11,000, 15,000, starting to come up. 21,000. Did we take weight off the end of that boom? A substantial amount? What did we do? Oh, we just put stack block in it, right? We didn't change the coil. We didn't change the distance out there. We didn't change the boom angle. That's why I wanted it to all stay the same. What do you think's easier on the truck? So if you were trying to move a big coil on a trailer, do you think that compression though, when you put your stack blocks in there, is going to make it easier for it to come out, or is it going to, you want a single line it so you can just try to move out? It's not going to move. The cylinder isn't big enough. I think always going to be able to push so much weight out before it's going to tell you, I'm not doing it no more. As soon as you put that stack block in, here's proof, guys. 100% proof. I can't change that number. I can't fudge this at all. Here's the number. You can see it. Renee, you got it. You recorded it.
Got it.
Remember, we were 15,000. Then we were like 27,000. Now we're back down to 20. Crazy, right? All we did is change for rigging. We didn't do anything else. So when you're going out to do that job, it's a 15,000 pound coil. I don't need to put a big stack. I don't need to stack block that thing. Maybe you should. You're probably right. You're working low limit on your wire rope. Well within your working low limit. But what you're doing to the port tip of that boom up there, to that pin, to that sheave head up there, the stress you're putting on it, on that change of angle there, is absolutely insane. Thinking about if you're lifting a trailer or truck, I mean, and it's right, I've done a 72,000 pound coil. What do you think the end of that boom is staying? Or 50, it'll be 58 or 59. The end of that boom is seeing hundreds of thousands of pounds. You're right, it's a 50-ton record. And it's looking, it's seeing.
Make sure that,
for doing this, I want to just talk a little bit
Mark,
about,
make sure that's on. Push the button.
about fast idle and two-speed.
You want the spade down?
No.
No, he says don't bother. Where are you gonna run into it?
So especially with a rotator. So a rotator runs off of what's called a piston pump system. When we engage the PTO, it's not circulating fluid through that unit once we engage the PTO. Not until we drive a function does it start circulating fluid. So especially you guys up here where it gets cold, you think, all right, well, I get out there, I turn the PTO on, I'm warming up my ATF, I'm getting my fluids rolling. You're not. Now, one of the things that is going to happen is in that piston pump system, when we engage that PTO, it's going to allow it to be able to run multiple functions at the same time. We'll have plenty of power even without turning the fast idle. Yesterday we were setting up, I went and turned off the fast idle on Roscoe's truck just because I don't know, it's like a thing to me because it's always running fast. And I get that on a tandem pump system like that you'd be running on a 9055.
We're good?
But you'll have plenty of power in the rotator just leaving it at idle.
Hold on, Jay.
We can let whatever the load is of the unit, whatever the capacity is at, we don't need to run it at fast idle in order to get the power out of the unit. You'll see it run right at about 600 to 800 pilot pressure, and then it'll drive up. All these systems will bottom out right at 3,000 psi at full function.
Listen up.
So Monday morning, I was at a towing company, and
Is it uncomfortable when I do it like that?
oh, that feels so good. So Monday morning, I was at a towing company working out in the rail yard with them, and two 1075s backed up to a double stack on a rail car, and we were repositioning it because it was leaning. Pretty unique process in which the rail yards work with this particular tower and all that. Very, very well endowed, towing recovery company. And both brothers at the same time hit the throttle. 1100 RPM on their 1075s. And I went back over there and shut it back down. They go back over and hit it, and I go back over there and I shut it down. And I'm saying there's no reason to run this unit at 1100 RPM unless it's a function thing for you to do something quicker than what it should. If you run that 1100, sit there for 30 minutes, not even operating the unit, that rotator is smart enough to know to shut the system down and not put oil all the way through the hydraulics. It goes from pump to tank, pump to tank. But it's still moving oil when it doesn't need to at a higher volume. The higher volume, you create heat. You create heat into the hydraulic oil, you thin the viscosity of the oil. You thin the viscosity of the oil, you weaken the capability of that recovery machine. That's why we don't want you to see that machine running at 1100 for no blooming reason. It only should be doing there to set something up, move a little quicker, end of the job, bring your cable in or whatever. We clear on that?
And how many up here before I've turned your PTO on your truck to warm up the hydraulic fluid in the wintertime because it's cold? If you have a rotator and you do that, you know what it does to the hydraulic fluid? Nothing. It's not pumping it through the system. It's in the bypass mode. It's only dumping it right back in. Nothing's warming up. Because it's not going through the valves and everything. Only reason that's even possible to do, freewheel your winches, sit in your truck and hold your winches or something with your remote. It's the only way you're going to warm it up. That PTO being on the rotator, because the way that piston pump works, will never heat up that oil just sitting there with the PTO and activated. It does nothing for it because it's not moving it like the other pump where it's pumping it through the system because it's in the bypass mode, like John says. It's dumping it a very small amount right back into the tank, pilot amount. So, does that make sense? All right, well, what we're in
One more take before we go. So in setting up today and doing certain things, we had to do some lubrication on this recovery boom. We used every bit of the outriggers and the underlift to do some of the service work. It was my ladder. Okay? There is no reason, none, zero, zip, to have any grease on the top of these two legs, or your 4-stage legs, or that top of that underlift.
or the side of the underlift.
You just don't need it because it's something for you to slip on when you want to use it to reach up and put that snatch block into the D-ring or do whatever. So just as a maintenance side, pressure wash clean, keep the top, second and third, top of the underlift, clear of that. There you go.
So what the blue one here imitates it's not imitating, it's that jack leg right there. That's what that jack leg is going to see pulling up on it, and this is what the coil is going to weigh. So how many times have you seen on the internet where an operator goes out and has this exact truck, swings the boom over here, takes the lines down to there, to here, and comes up to the casualty to try to pull down on it? We see it all the time, right? In the wintertime, what's the hardest thing for you guys to do up here? Get the truck to sit still, right? Do you think when it starts pulling on these legs that it's going to help the truck even with the spades in it? Because it's taking weight off of it. That's what the deck winch is a huge deal for. So over here, you'll see when we do this mixer, we didn't go down to the legs with the auxiliary winches and come back up. We used the deck winch. With doing that, we left all the weight on the tips of the legs out here so we can use the weight as our advantage. And we lowered the center of gravity on that other winch because it's in the belly of the truck. It's not going through the head of that boom that's 30 feet in the air. It's right down on the bottom of the winch. You'll see where we go out to the tires, and it's actually driving it down. So go ahead, Jay. Lift up on it for me, buddy. So we didn't see no change on the end of the boom, right? Right around 20, 21,000. Lifting up on that leg is taking 12,900 pounds off of that leg. That's a 15,000 pound coil, and we have the lines doubled up already. If we took that snatch block out of there, do you think if you went down to something and up to the tires, that it's not going to affect how your truck performs? 100%, right? 100%, because now you're taking that weight and pulling it off the end of them jack legs out there. We fight every day to get the truck to sit still.